The acting state comptroller, Kevin Walsh, who testified in March before the Senate Budget and Appropriations Committee, said it was his belief that making official documents harder to get would not only lead to less transparency in government, but also to more corruption, fraud, waste, and abuse, adding that less transparency in government could very likely be more expensive and not save tax dollars, as some suggest the changes to the Oprah law might promote. Which of you wants to jump in on this one?
Well, that certainly aligns with our perspective. We think that, again, transparency is essential in a political culture like this one. And I can't compromise on that belief, because we just have such a long and frankly sad track record here, and I think that Oprah remains a very valuable tool in a quiver with few arrows in it, frankly, to keep our politics in New Jersey in a place where we can all feel comfortable taking part in them, frankly. And so I think in the long run, it does probably provide some measure of savings. And certainly, if we look at the work that our network has undertaken using the tool, the Sunday after the bill was pulled, my colleague Jim O'Neill, who is a longtime environmental reporter and is now our investigative editor for the USA Today network in New Jersey, basically wrote a litany of story, it was a list of stories and investigations we've undertaken just in the last couple of years that were heavily reliant on Oprah. The athletic debt across the street at Rutgers. Most recently, we used the tool effectively to demonstrate that we have some work to do in firming up the details with FIFA and our World Cup arrangement for 2026. Certainly, our coverage of the disaster during COVID at the veterans' homes was benefited from the tool. And I think New Jersey and the citizens and its citizens are better informed as a result of certainly that work, and the work could not have happened without the tool. And so, in the long run, I think being able to shine a light on the inner workings of government at every level, at the municipal level, at the county level, at the state level, is just essential for our core of journalists, but also more essential for people who are, concerned citizens about any number of topics. We all know who these people are in our communities who care about all range of different things, who use this tool. It's just a good tool, and of course it can be improved upon, and we want to have a seat at the table in talking about that, certainly. But I think it's just essential for us.
I guess I'll jump in. I see the perspective that Ed shares, but when it comes down to it, I'm going to share something that it's really just about good government. I mean, you want transparency, and if you want good government, you want transparency. So there's some residuals of bad governments, especially in New Jersey, as we talk about how things are linked just now and side deals as was shared. But the reality is, I think times have continued to change. So in 2002, when Oprah started, their government was relatively closed. I think the pandemic's made a big difference. So even a small town like Bethlehem Township, all of our meetings are Zoom and then posted on our website within the next week. Those are our township committee meetings and our planning board meetings. All the minutes are there. Based on additional social media and a lot of other access points, the world has changed quite significantly on how you get information for local government. And whether Oprah is modified or not doesn't change what I'm going to do. I'm going to do what I think is right and what's good for government, whether somebody can file an Oprah request or not. But taking that a step back, I don't think a lot of the changes that are presented are going to restrict documents that are going to unveil some of the things that you've shared. It's really a way for local government to be more efficient and more cost effective. So I don't believe that it would actually add cost. I think if you're looking for good government, you're looking to, of course, maintain, I would love in New Jersey to say reduce, but at least maintain your tax rate, lower your debt. And I think taking the time to answer some of these commercial requests that municipalities see, some of these, as we talk about some harassment requests, I have a full-time clerk and a deputy clerk, and it takes quite a bit of time. And as president of the Conference of Mayors, I talk to larger municipalities that have deputy clerks solely committed to Oprah responses. Now that's a cost that we all bear. And so if I have a commercial company coming in in and asking for all of my pool permits so that they can send a flyer out to sell them a fence. Why should my taxpayers be paying for that? And how is that efficient? And how is that good government?
Jump in.
Okay, just a couple things. First of all, just on the commercial interests and their Oprah requests, I think that is going to be something that a lot of people who are going to be actually voting on this legislation will agree on. And in theory, that would help small towns.
Right.
It would help with the efficiency.
Right.
Because the moment you take all of those requests and push them off and say, those aren't part, that's not part of open government that we were talking about, to be used as a data collection agency for commercial interests, well, then your clerk has more time to focus on, this is what taxpayer advocate Jones in our town really wants. Because right now they're filled with a lot. So you're taking things off their plate in order for there to be more time, quicker responses. So in that sense, this may well improve efficiency. I just want to say something about the controller's idea about this is going to lead to corruption. It's been my experience that people don't need Oprah in order to be corrupt. That the bad actors, there are 15,000 or so elected officials in this state. 15,000. An overwhelming number of them are good people, well-intentioned, just want to do a good job as they see it for their town, their district, etc. There are bad actors. They're not sitting there saying, oh, Oprah got weakened, now we can do all the stuff that we wanted to do. I mean, it's just, they're bad actors and they don't need Oprah one way or the other in order to be bad.